A new era begins here at MetLife Stadium. The Bills and Jets underway to close out Week 1. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And incomplete to open things up.
So Aaron Rodgers here getting his first run in a Jets uniform. Well, he'll get 3 of his first 4 games at home, but it is an intimidating slate. You got Buffalo tonight. They go to Dallas next Sunday, followed by a divisional home game against the Patriots, a team that's had their number, to put it mildly. And then the Super Bowl champs come in Week 4.
And don't forget, not far behind them, the Eagles in Week 6. But I think that this is a great way to open for Aaron Rodgers. If you've ever wanted a challenge, this is it. And this gives him a chance to show the rest of the world he's still got it and is still an MVP in this league.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Rodgers. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off by Micah Hyde. Inside the 20. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5.
Brandon, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now, because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Nyheim Hines, a 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Bills are on the board here first in the season opener.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. And we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But 2 kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different, and I really wanted the special teams coaches to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Teron Johnson able to pick it.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
So after the INT, it's Allen. And he lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. That's once again complete to Chark.
Touchdown, Bills! DJ Chark from 13 yards out.
And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Breece Hall.
An 80-yard touchdown.
And the Jets are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I should like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Their former 3rd overall pick, Quentin Williams, there to bring him down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Allen.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Buda Baker with a pick. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appeared.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Teron Johnson able to pick it.
And the Bills are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris.
He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 3. Hall again on 2nd down.
Calling no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
26.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down.
Back deep, Nyheim Hines.
call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Knox enjoyed his first Pro Bowl season of a 4-year career in 2022, almost matching his career highs in yards and catches. That came after signing a 4-year extension with Buffalo, who expects him to keep making plays like that first down we just saw.
Allen now on 1st down. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. A big completion there against double coverage, and Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got a pick before. It's my turn now to make the big play, and that's exactly what he did.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
56. What's that?
Here's Allen.
Coming across the formation and making the catch is Chart.
And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets 16. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10.
Chark's got it, left side. Touchdown! DJ Chark, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Bills go up by 2 touchdowns. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Bass on for the extra point.
It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score Bills 21, Jets 7. Tyler Bass.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
The last series form a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory.
103 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. From the 46, here's 2nd down and 2.
Rodgers now to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, to be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. In motion right is Wilson.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
But first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. The end result, 21 yards.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
They'll run with Hall.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run with Hall.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal.
From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Will McDonald, first-round selection back in April there on the tackle.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? So after the INT, it's Rodgers.
Open man downfield is Hardman. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
Right after after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
Yeah, he did. 105 yards rushing for him in his first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Paul again on second down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down.
On third down, here's Hall.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Breece Hall.
Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Jets have cut it back within a score.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-17. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Out of the end zone, here comes Hines.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Buffalo.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
They coming off a touchdown drive. The last time they had the ball, that cut down the lead. Now the defense does their part, got them the football back.
So now maybe with the touchdown they scored previously, plus their defense making that stand up and getting them the ball right back, momentum may be shifting in their favor. But that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Flushed out right. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jordan Poyer.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Now on 3rd down, that pass pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing left side, it's complete. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
26.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
Oh, he's going up top for Wilson.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. Catch is made by Hardman. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and REA Sports Halftime Report.
Coach, after that first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Allen. And Diggs has it. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
In motion is Hardy. Tap forward by Allen on the jet sweep. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Allen to throw it. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Here's Hines. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
He was brought down at the 45-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To the air, Allen. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Matt Milano, an all-pro last year, in on the tackle.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Now Rodgers. Throw right side, caught by Davis. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Hey, take 26.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Allen.
Finds his rookie tight end, Dalton Kincaid.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Allen's throw is complete. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Setting up the screen, Harris.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to it and hold him for just a short gain.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox.
He's going to have the first down and more than that.
Touchdown, Bills. Dawson Knox, 52 yards.
And the Bills are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
31-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
Credit the sack to Von Miller.
Von Miller still rushing the passer at an elite level well into his 30s. Only 11 games last year, already in the top 20 all-time in sacks, and could make a run at the top 10 this season with more plays like that.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Their own 30-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Allen going to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
And it's 3rd down. 3rd and 14.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long.
In motion is Hardy.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away.
Pulled in at the 24.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Rodgers. In trouble, and he's taken down. Daquan Jones fighting his way home to get the sack.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 19. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one snap closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. Finding room at midfield. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one onto the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
And they're knocking on the door now. As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
They run with Hines. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Nyheim Hines with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns.
And the Bills are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And they open the lead up now to 25.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience.
He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
All again on 2nd down.
That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself, how much of that is him with a great performance, and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead.
He completes it to Wilson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Rodgers now to throw.
He gets it underneath to Hall.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort turned it into a successful play.
Third down, here's Abanikanda.
And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
On second down, a run with Hall.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. To throw is Rodgers. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score.
They'll look to run with Hall.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, no surprise there that he got the ball. When you've got 2 touchdowns already, you're probably demanding it in your own huddle. And you can bet this defense, though, is going to be keyed in on him at this point. And they did a nice job stopping him behind the line of scrimmage.
One more time with Hall.
And you can sense the frustration now as they're going to drop him again behind the line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
You can almost feel him thinking as he's running the football. Just one more block, anything to get me to the perimeter and around the corner. Couldn't quite get there. Ends up getting spilled for a loss.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game.
And the Jets are able to cut into that deficit. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and that'll cut the lead down to 18.
27. Brings Zuerlein to kick off for the Jets.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
And they take a knee.